I'm a member of Live Oak's worship ministry, and today's service, First Lammas, has been prepared and will be presented by our worship ministry. And I want to give many, many thanks to Jeannie Northinger, Kristen Ingalls, and Drew Carter for all the work you've put into today's service. Lammas is an earth-centered tradition of the August cross quarter, which means the halfway point between summer solstice and fall equinox. This observance, traditionally observed on August 1st, marked the beginning of the harvest, and especially celebrated the first wheat crop, or that of corn, and it derives from the ancient English festival of the Gul of August. Did I pronounce that correctly? Thank you. Someone said yes, I'm going to go with it. It's spelled G-U-L-E, so I'm guessing it could be Gul or it could be Goulet, I don't know. But I don't want to offend any of the pagan gods. It is a pagan dedication of the first fruits that the early English church later converted to Christian usage. On Lammas Day, loaves of bread were baked from the first ripened grain and brought to the churches to be consecrated. Much lore is associated with this day, including this proverb: after Lammas Day, corn ripens as much by night as by day. I'm going to give you a second there. Thank you. Recognizing and celebrating history and those who came before us is an important tradition at Live Oak. We celebrate our campus and the land where many of us live, and acknowledge that it is part of the ancient homeland and traditional territory of the Chumash people. We pay respect to Chumash peoples, past, present, and future. I'd also like to thank the other people who are involved in making this service possible. Our music director, Kevin Fox, our vocalists, Melanie Jacobson and Priscilla Marcus, audiovisual handled by Eric Shug, and today's tech support, Crystal McCauley, and of course our welcome team, Barbara Hodgden and Sue Smiley. Thank you all. In Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world, the symbol of a lighted flame in a chalice unites members in worship and symbolizes our faith in action. It represents the warmth of community and the flame of hope. The flaming chalice, like our faith, stands open to receive new truths that pass the tests of reason, justice, and compassion.
In ages past, our ancestors gradually turned from the nomadic gathering of food to the magic of placing a tiny seed in the earth, waiting and probably praying in their own way that an edible food source would be the result. Just like hunting and gathering, if all did not go well, they would be left wanting. The failure of the harvest could mean starvation and death. These were people deeply invested in the earth and its bounty. From those days to present, worldwide celebrations and rituals surround the planting and gathering of food. The first day of February is Imbolc, celebrating the beginning of the spring planting. And harvest is the 1st of August, the traditional day that our ancestors began their Lammas celebrations. We know the energy of the sun is now beginning to wane. It's a time of change and shift. Active growing is slowing down, and the darker days of winter and reflection are beckoning. It is a time of reckoning. It is a time to ask, did the harvest bring in enough food? Will it last the cold days of winter and spring until the new cycle begins again? And what can we do if there is not enough food? It is a time to plan. As the grain is harvested and gathered in, remember, it is also essential to save seeds for next year's planting. This is a time to be grateful. Lammas is an especially magic time, a time for the whole society to gather together as we have today, to harvest the crop, bake the ritual bread, and give thanks for the bounty. And especially for us now in this time, when food is close at hand, we take this time to nourish our body, our soul, our spirit, our mind. And so there are two parts of this celebration, out with the old and in with the new. Lammas is a ritual of release. It is a ritual of renewal. It is a time of cleansing. It is a time of storing. I cannot help but notice that this year our Lammas celebration ritual takes on special meaning. This past year has been one of great change, of letting go whether we wanted to or not, adjusting to what is not what we might want, but what is. This year challenges us to come to peace with that, to embrace the possibilities of the future, to plant and plan for our future. Whatever you want to let go of or bring into your life, it may not be fully realized right away. Think of it as a seed. Once planted, it begins to grow. Be patient.
And I want to thank people who brought offerings for the altar as well. If anybody did bring other offerings for the altar and they didn't get a chance to place them, they could do that now too. It looks beautiful. Thank you, everyone. One of the Celtic traditions still practiced at this cross quarter is to make a pilgrimage. This sacred journey usually involves hiking to the top of a mountain. Today, we will be making a pilgrimage, but instead of climbing up, we will process down to our outdoor sanctuary where we will bless the land. And I'll tell you more about that later in the service. Prepare yourself in your own way for the meditation. Quiet yourself. As I walk the periphery of this circle, I charge each of you with the task of holding space open in the center for something meaningful to happen. We might find inspiration, insight, healing, or some profound awareness or emotion. Your task is to hold the space in which our ritual today will have heart and meaning. As I walk the circle, a container for that energy is created. That container is like a globe that extends above and below as well as around. And we include those who are joining us on Zoom in this container. Within this space, we cast out doubt and we invite in compassion, trust, and grace. So may it be. What is the purpose of calling in the directions? Perhaps my Celtic ancestors practiced this spiritual practice, but I did not grow up with it, so all I can do is share how it has meaning for me. When I tune in to the energies of the directions, I center myself. And as we speak about in our Unitarian Universalist principles of respect for the web of all life, by calling in the directions and feeling into those, I find myself connected to the cosmos of which I am a part. It's more of an experience than it is a mental exercise. And so I invite you to join as we do that practice this morning. To begin with, we're going to connect down into the earth. We allow our feet and our tailbone to go down like a taproot into the earth. And we feel the earth energy draw up into our body. And then from the top of our heads, we imagine a funnel that opens to the sky, and all the energy of the cosmos can enter into our body from above. Feel that energy coming down into you through the top of your head and into your body. Then sky and earth combine within you, the masculine and the feminine in perfect balance. In the symbolism of the directions, there are many metaphors relating to the natural world. For example, the time of day, the seasons, the experiences of life like birth, maturity, old age, and death. The occupations of daily living like beginnings, production, completion, and rest. One might associate color, sound, an element, a memory, or a person to the directions. If you are comfortable doing so, I'm going to invite you to stand and face the east, which is the direction where the sun comes up. If you prefer to remain seated, you can call in the directions from a seated position as well. But if you choose to stand and face me, and we will call in the east. As you focus on the east, feel into that direction. Include awareness of our outdoor sanctuary, and also include in your mind all of those who are joining us on Zoom. Whatever you think of in connection with the East, just speak it out now, loud or soft. There are no wrong answers. You might be thinking of a person or a place, the sunrise or an idea. Just speak whatever dawns on you. Now, turn toward the south. Move your energy in that direction, and whatever you feel south spark in you, speak that out loud, either loud or soft. There are no wrong answers. And now we turn toward the west. What is stirred in you as you consider the west? Although we've turned toward the west, we will look within. What does your intuition tell you about the west? Speak out whatever flows in you as a whisper or a shout. Now face the north. Let your body tune into the north. What is the essence of north? What is represented there? As your associations to that direction crystallize, voice them. Bring your innate wisdom forward. Now, please return to facing the center of the circle. There is a Hopi saying, even as you face north, south, east, west, sky, earth, and where I stand, you realize that the 6 directions all flow back into where you stand. So each one of us is the center of the circle. You may be seated. Let the ritual begin.
To begin our ritual of letting go, our worship associates will help me distribute these pieces of paper. Each of you will get one of these special pieces of paper, and for those of you who are joining us on Zoom this morning, you may grab a slip of paper or a note card or something. So take this paper into your hand and feel the texture of it. Maybe press it between your hands and just breathe for a moment, settling into our chairs. Let us open our hearts so that we can see those things that we are ready to release and let go of. Disappointments, losses, failures, any unwelcome burdens. Things you said or did that you wish you hadn't, or maybe that you wish you had. Anger, fear, doubts, anxieties that are keeping you stuck. Struggles of the past that may not have been solved, but for which the only way left is forward. Opportunities missed, hopes unfilled, judgments and criticisms, whether against yourself or others, thoughts and actions that no longer serve you. This paper represents that which you want to release, give up, cast off, be forgiven for, let go of, or leave behind as we make room in our life for the new harvest. Imagine setting those thoughts onto the paper. Imagine words and images flowing from your hands across the smooth surface. And now, for our ritual of release, I'm going to invite you to come forward if you wish, bringing with you this paper, which symbolizes what you intend to release. These are special papers that will dissolve quickly in water. And so there are 4 vessels on the altar, 1 at each aisle. So as you are ready, you will please come forward and put your paper into coming down the aisle to one of the 4 vessels and watch it dissolve. As you see this happen, imagining the concerns contained in that paper dissolving as well. Please come forward down each aisle and form a line. There are little sticks next to the vessels if it needs to be stirred to encourage the dissolving. As more paper gets into it, we might need to do that. And for those of you on Zoom, you may create the transformation of your piece of paper later, perhaps by composting it, or burning it. So please come forward at this time while Kevin plays us some music.
And now, the ritual of bringing in the harvest. In ancient times, all storehouses were carefully and systematically cleansed before new harvest came in. So hopefully you have made room in your heart to receive the harvest, that which will sustain you from now on. Think of what you want in your life going ahead. Take care about what you do bring into your life. Bring only that which will benefit you. I wake each morning a blank slate. As my feet touch the floor, I ask, what do I need? What might be lacking? What places feel empty? Tragedy aside, did you, like me, kind of learn to appreciate the quietude of the pandemic? Listening to birds, conversations with cats, taking time to just be. Perhaps getting too used to being alone. Perhaps I need to relearn how to connect with friends, activities, exploring the world again. Gratitude. These past years were a hard lesson in gratitude for everyone. The jarring pendulum of emotions. I have a safe place to live. Many do not. I am mostly healthy. I have health insurance, while many go without. I have an income, friends to reach out to, but many do not. Watching the suffering increased my gratitude, but also challenged me to ask, how can I help others? Am I doing that yet? Is there something more I can contribute? I love to garden, but I'm chronically inconsistent. I plant a plant, care for it, get distracted, and after a while, another donation to my green can waste. I plan to do better, but maybe I need to remember that plan when I wake up each day. Don't plan, do better. So with your clean storehouse, what would you like to gather to you? What has meaning in your heart? Are there dreams you've neglected to act on? What holds you back? What have you always wanted to do but have not yet made time to do? I keep thinking maybe for the 6th time, I'll ask the knitters and hookers and whatever they are to teach me to knit. I have tried and tried. It's been unsuccessful, but I really want to do it. I'd like to play the piano. I think maybe that's gone by, but there are so many other things that the life has to hold. I need to start connecting with those and see, can I find room in my life for those things to bring me joy? Because when things bring you joy, you bring joy to others. And then there are the harder things to harvest and gather. Are there attributes you would like to cultivate? Acceptance, patience, more compassion, kindness, being of service to others, honesty. This is a hard inventory to take. It's so easy to rationalize or ignore. Might changing that bring you joy? Perhaps the hardest part of this ritual is acceptance, accepting the unacceptable. Last week, as our beautiful music service began, I closed my eyes, and on the inside of both eyelids, Gloria Liggett appeared with her beautiful smile. She looked so happy, but I'm having a hard time accepting her loss. Dealing with loss and grief, this will be a long process. So keep your thoughts and dreams with you. Just as the farmer keeps seeds for his next planting, keep these dreams and wishes safe, nourish them, and perhaps celebrate as you see them manifest in your life. And again, remember, whatever you might want to bring into your life, it may not be fully realized right away. Think of it like that seed. Once planted, let it grow. Tend it. Be patient. And now, the Feast of Bread. As Megan said, bread making is a common way to mark this holiday, as it represents bringing the seeds of intention to full fruition. It celebrates the miracle of a seed growing, providing sustenance. It's the culmination of a group effort and commitment to each other. So now, keep hold of your positive feelings, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes for the future. We will pass around baskets of bread as wonderful Kevin serenades us. And as we do, please take a piece of bread, hold it, and allow it to become part of the intentions you are holding. You may want to keep the bread and place it in your home where it will remind you of your harvest. You might want to put it on a windowsill or your altar. Or you may want to just gobble it right up now and assimilate the intentions into your physical body.
as Kristen said, you may choose to eat the bread now, or you may want to take it home for your altar. We're grateful for the light of the sun, which has taken form as this bread, and for all the hands that worked to bring it to our harvest table today. Thank you to everyone who participated in this first harvest, and for the gifts that you brought to the altar. We thank and we release all the energies that have joined us, the energies of the directions and the sky and the earth. To them we say, go if you must, stay if you will, and blessed be. The circle is open. Please be seated for the postlude. So we're all going to do the postlude together. This is a land blessing song from Brooke Medicine Eagle. It's a very simple, repetitive chant. And I'm going to just do it one time through, and then I'm going to have you guys do it with me. I am blessing the land as I walk. 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 Oh, and that's the whole thing. So it starts, I am blessing the land as I walk. 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 Oh, I am blessing the land as I walk. 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 Oh, that's beautiful. Now, if you're wanting to do some improvisation, you can, in the second part, you can insert words like, I bring joy to the land as I walk, or I bring love or peace, or whatever comes to mind for you. We're going to be doing this chant as we process to do the blessing in the outdoor sanctuary. A lot of thought and energy has gone into making that area accessible, but we have to walk there. And we have that steep driveway. So I'm going to ask you to think in terms of walking partners and to walk near other people, especially if you know that you'd like to maybe have someone close by, and for all of us to be mindful of the terrain, so to speak. Once we get to the outdoor sanctuary, there's a bench next to the water tower that people can sit on, or there are a couple of chairs if you need that. If you can process around throughout the outdoor sanctuary, singing this blessing and thinking blessing into the land, then we can crisscross each other, and we won't be singing this in unison by that point. We'll kind of each be on our own tempo with the song. We will start it again in a minute, though. For those of you who are joining us on Zoom, you can bless your indoor space or an outdoor space of your choosing. And you can also imagine yourself with us in our outdoor space here at Live Oak. So we are going to literally carry the light of our chalice into the world as we process down to that area. The blessing actually moves in two directions. While you are sending your energy and love and blessing into the earth, be sensitive to what the earth has to tell you while you're there. What does it want you to feel in that area? What does it inspire you to bring to that area? And what do you find yourself wanting to experience there? I'm looking to see if there's anything I've forgotten. When we feel complete with the blessing, we'll come and form a circle in the large open area. And by the way, there's quite a bit of shade, so if you need, to get out of the sun, there's a lot of shade down there. But we'll form a circle, and then when it feels like everybody's complete and has joined the circle, we'll just speak one word around the circle, and then we'll be complete. And you can either hang out down there or come up here for coffee. So if you really prefer to stay in the sanctuary, you can do the blessing right here. You can change the words or whatever, but hold a reverent presence throughout this experience. And the people on Zoom, because we don't have the screens on, whenever they're finished doing their blessing, they can join together and, if they want to, do the same thing, go around the Zoom screen and speak a word, and then they can have their social time also. Does anybody have any questions before I start the chant again? We are blessing the land as we walk. 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 Oh, I am blessing the land as I walk. 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 Oh, I am blessing the land as I walk. I am blessing the land as I walk. I bring peace to the land as I walk. I bring love to the land as I walk. Oh, I am blessing the land as I walk.